Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today I've come out for a round of clays with a budget semi-auto and an expensive semi-auto. I've come out with an Escort Magnum worth about £250–300, and I've come out with a Browning Maxis Gold worth about £1,400. And we're just going to shoot around the clays here at Oxford and just see what the difference is. Remember, I've also got, with a semi-auto, you must have, when it's walking around the shooting grounds, you must have a safety flag so everyone knows that it's safe. And remember, on a clay ground, a semi-auto, you can only put 2 shots in it. So technically, you cannot put 3 shots on a clay ground unless you ask permission. It's just a CPSA rule that 2 shots are maximum in it. So, I've got the Escort Magnum first. The Escort Magnums have been out for a few years now. They are bulletproof. They've got your recoil reducer on. They're 3 shot, but they're cheap. If you want something for bunny bashing, really great thing to buy if you just want to go bunny bashing or throw it in the back of a tractor or a Land Rover, just as a cheap gun, and they are bulletproof. They just keep on going. And then I've also got the Browning Maxis Gold. Again, this has got the normal proper recoil pad on from Browning. Nicer piece of wood. As you saw, the Escort was synthetic. This is wood. 28-inch barrels. This is more going out nice when you go pigeon shooting, if you just want to spend a little bit more money, but does the same sort of job as the Escort. Let's go and have a shoot them and see what they're like. I've got my Fiocchi F Blacks. Remember, when you're using a semi-auto, don't blame the gun. If it's 24 gram, a lot of the semi-autos will not cycle with a 24 gram cartridge. So we have loads of people come into here saying, oh, I've got a semi-auto, but it won't cycle. It needs a little bit of an oomph to get the second one. It's because it's all done on the gas operated machines inside the gun. You've got to have that little bit more capacity to make the second cartridge go off. So get yourself a nice 28 gram cartridge for your semi-auto to use. So how you load a semi-auto, cartridge goes in there. Make sure your fingers are well out the way of here, because if you put your fingers in there, it will chop your fingers off. And then you push that down there, and that goes in like that. Then you put that in like that, and that's your 2 shots. Oh. A lot of grounds, as you saw there, the cartridge is ejected out the side. Now, if you're at a shooting ground, just offer to pick those cartridges up afterwards, because a lot of grounds, that's why some grounds shy away from semi-autos, is they don't like the fact that the cartridges eject all over the place. Me personally, I'm not bothered about it, but just be common courtesy afterwards, just to pick them up afterwards. Pull. The other thing with a semi-auto is a lot of semi-autos are quite low in the comb there. So if you buy a semi-auto, and they're built like that, because if you look at the action here, it goes higher here. They're built low. So you probably want to get yourself a comb razor and just stick a comb razor on there. Again, if you buy something cheap like this, just get yourself a cheap comb razor, tape it on there, you'll find it so much better. Pull. Pull. I will show you on this entrance how to put 3 in it. So you put 1 in there, another 1 in there, and then you pull it behind with another one like that. If you've loaded that and you don't want to shoot it, then all you do is you do that, you do that, you do that. And that's how you get the cartridges out if you don't want to shoot them. So again, let me repeat that, like that, like that, like that. Pull, pull. But remember, if you're at a clay ground and you want to put 3 in it, make sure you ask. Pull, pull. And that's your Escort, that's on one stand. Now let's try the Browning. Differences with this, wood rather than synthetic. Cartridge goes in there, and the Brownings have a, again, this is where you pay a little bit more money. A little bit less agricultural, slightly better made. Nothing wrong with the Escort, but it's just a little bit more delicate made. So that's got a button there, you push that there, and then you put the other one, you don't actually have to push a button in there, you just push that down like that. Pull, pull. So that goes in like that, that goes like that, and then if you want to put 3 in, like that there. This has got a safety catch on this one, so you push it like that. And that is how you use a semi-auto. This one again, but this is what you're paying that £1,500 for when you buy one from Browning, is it's all slightly better made. It's got some engraving on there, just the quality of it is better. But then you can't knock that for £250 or £299. Pull, pull, pull. Now let's go to a different stand. What I'm going to do now on this one is I'm going to show you how to put the safety flag in. And I would recommend, if you're going to buy a semi-auto, always get yourself a safety flag. Just shows people, and then you put that in like that, and that releases that, and it just shows it's empty. And then it goes in here. I personally would recommend when you walk around with one of these around the ground, I would put it in the slip all the time, because people just don't know whether it's unsafe or not. The best thing to do is with a semi-auto, if you're not shooting it, put it in a slip. So we've come to another stand here at Oxford for the semi-auto test, showing people how to use a semi-auto. So as you see, I take it out. If you see the Browning, the flag is in there. So you take that out, you do that, you take the flag out, and it comes out. So I'm going to go with the Browning Gold first. So I'm going to shoot a going away bird and a crosser. Pull. 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 So that was the Browning Gold. Just little tip of how to take it apart. So you push that up there, gun is empty. That comes out like that. Again, all semi-autos are slightly different. You roll that off like that, and the barrel comes off like that. So it comes in 3 different parts when you take it apart. That is all the mechanism that makes the gun fire backwards and forwards, which is why you need slightly thumpier cartridges to make that all work within the gun. And then when you put it back together again, this is multi-choke as well. You make sure that is lined up like that. That goes like that. and then that goes back on like that. And then I always just put that like that first, just to make sure it's on properly. One more, and then I'll do the same with the Escort. The one thing I would say about this is Browning do have to say it's slightly higher in the comb than the Escort, and there is slightly less recoil. But again, a bit like I've done with it in the past, you can't really compare the two of them, because that is a bargain basement one. This is a good quality semi-auto. Pull. So that's your Browning semi-auto. I'll put that back into the slip, ready for the next stand. Now we will take the Escort. The Escort has got a safety catch there as well, so you can use the safety catch. Pull. To be fair, if you're sat in a pigeon hide, that's where the safety catches do come handy on a semi-auto. So if you are sat down and you just want to lean it up, you can always put the safety catch on there. Pull. Pull. Again, this one, it's a little bit more agricultural, a little bit more rough and ready, but it's a lot cheaper. So again, taking this one apart, that goes up there. This one, you unscrew that. Like the Browning, you just flick a switch. On this one, you actually physically undo that like that. That comes off like that. And then the barrel comes off there. So again, if you look at all the mechanism, and this is made in Turkey, but you can see it's just, they're just made to a price. They're made down to a price. Whereas the Browning, every little detail, it's got the gold trigger, it's got everything. But you can't knock it. It's a great little gun for bunny bashing, pigeon shooting. If you can't afford a great deal of money, it's definitely something to look to if you can't afford a Browning or a Beretta or something like that. And then that goes back on like that. You put the flag in like that, and you put that like that. And then you put the gun, everyone can see it's safe, and then the gun goes straight back in its slip like that. One of the biggest differences I see between this and the Browning is the Browning's a lot smoother. Handles round, doesn't thump at you a lot, whereas this is a lot more rigid when you shoot it. Pull. All round, if I wanted to go bunny bashing, I would buy one of these. If I only wanted to spend 250, 300 quid, this would be my choice for a semi-auto. So the Browning can be used a little bit more for clay shooting. They do clay shoots that are built for semi-auto. So they do 3-shot clay shoots. So again, this is the sort of thing also you could buy for that. I mean, also you can go some goose shooting, some duck shooting with this. It's a little bit nicer to turn up to. Pull. It does feel a lot nicer in the shoulder on the recoil side of things. Pull. 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 Very impressed with that as a semi-auto. Lovely and smooth, and well worth a look if you want to spend a little bit more money onto a semi-auto. Definitely well worth a look. That recoil reducer on there. It's also got different shims there, so you can have the shims in there to lift this up and down. So this comes with a lot more, comes with multi-choke. So you can fit this almost to you. Comes with different size pads as well. Compared to the Escort semi-auto, this has got a lot more option extras with it. I hope you enjoyed this film about semi-autos. I wanted to try and give you an option, a little bit of how to use a semi-auto, and also what the difference is between a budget semi-auto and a more expensive semi-auto. Any comments you would like to make on this, please comment below. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week.